Hello, my name is Chris and today I will review the 2021 Genesis GV80. This was overdue for Genesis. The hottest segments in the car world are the premium compact and mid-size multi-segment categories, and until this year, Genesis was absent. Not anymore. The GV80 is the mid-size. Prices in Canada start at $65,000 to $70,000 for the 4-cylinder turbo models and $80,000 to $85,000 for the 6-cylinder turbo models. This GV80 has 20-inch wheels with the V6 turbo 22-inch wheels. Craziness! Let me know your thoughts on big wheels. I'm especially curious for those of you who live and drive in Montreal's trails. The exterior styling is unique, and for $70,000 the equipment is complete. This is a spacious crossover. The interior is supremely luxurious. I love the cream colored seats, and this 4-cylinder turbo is a silky smooth operation. There are no major flaws. We could end the review right now. Most premium crossovers are good at this price. It's a question of personal preference and specialization. The emphasis on luxury is where GV80 stands apart. There are no sporty pretensions, and although GV80 does not feel like molasses on the road, you won't confuse this with BMW's M Division. A list of highlight features in our $70,000 tester in no particular order, but all important for the class, are the following: all-wheel drive, panoramic sunroof, smart cruise control with Genesis highway driving assist, which can even change lanes, slick 14-inch infotainment, heads-up display, 20-inch wheels, genuine leather, and 5 years of Genesis service in which the dealer picks up your car to service it at no extra cost. No more wasting your day at the silly dealer. Wonderful. The GV80 engine was surprisingly refined and produces 300 horsepower and 311 pounds of torque, mated with an 8-speed automatic. This is the standard recipe. I quite frankly saw no need to get the V6 turbo. Fuel economy is an impressive 11.3 liters in the city and 9.5 liters on the highway. The EPA says 21-25 mpg. This car has superior exterior and interior assembly. As a first generation, it feels almost as though GV80 was engineered by seasoned professionals on their 3rd generation. I think by now we have to acknowledge Koreans are expert car manufacturers. Here are my thoughts on the road. Hello car lovers, driving the Genesis GV80 2.5 liter all-wheel drive. This vehicle goes for $70,000 plus in the province of Quebec. What to say about this vehicle? Well, there's some very good, some good, and maybe 1 or 2 things, whatever. But first, I want to preface this by saying when you're dealing in the mid-size SUV market, or crossover market if you want, this premium luxury segment, there's something to be said about the buyer of this vehicle. I know quite a few buyers of this vehicle. I have quite a few acquaintances who do make quite a bit of money, and they talk to me about cars. And one of the things that comes up is that when you've worked harder than everyone else, relatively harder than everyone else, when you buy these big ticket items, often, not always, but often, you want it to be a reflection, a token of your success. And that's why people go for the big brands: Mercedes, Audi, Lexus, BMW. I wouldn't quite put Acura in there. They're kind of like semi-premium in my book. And Genesis is aiming for the top. And what to say about that? Well, it starts at a disadvantage because it doesn't yet have that brand recognition, which you gain through time, right? Time and excellence. Well, Genesis can't do anything about the time part. However, they sure as hell can do something about the excellence part. Let's talk about excellence in this vehicle. Have they done enough? I'll describe it to you. You can decide. On the exterior styling, what to say about it? Well, the exterior styling, I think from the front, from the sides, it looks very good. It's very conservative. I think the rear end, which is the only place where designers have to design, where they don't have to worry about crash design and they don't have to worry about aerodynamics, I think it's perhaps not that awesome, a bit too conservative. That's my opinion. What's your opinion? Leave it in the comments below. However, that being said, the color is so inky rich. It looks like it's just been painted. It's unbelievable, actually. They're redoing colors we've always known. They're increasing the contrast ratio, it seems, of the paint, if that's possible. I don't know how that's possible, but they are. And the build quality is unbelievable. I can't see the distinction anymore between high-end German and high-end Korean. The panel gaps, the way everything fits together, the solidity, really good stuff at a lower price, it must be said. So that is awesome. Sitting on the inside now, well, it's mostly excellent. Let's start with the excellent, the ride quality. Genesis on its website says this is a luxury vehicle. They don't talk that much about sportiness, and I think that's appropriate. I think that's what the customer wants. It doesn't feel like molasses. It feels perfect. I'm riding here in Montreal's trails. It's handling the bumps wonderfully. Really good stuff. It's a high-level suspension, on par with the Mercedes and the Lexuses of this world. It's wonderful. The engine, a 4-cylinder turbo, incredible smoothness. A transmission doesn't draw attention to itself, very smooth. Everything is awesome. Even the silly start-stop is very quiet and doesn't draw attention to itself. It's not a feature I like, but whatever. Here on the inside, more good stuff. The quality of the materials, the build quality, the interface of the buttons, this rotary dial here, very, very luxurious. The climate control, same thing, extremely small, fan speed buttons, I don't know why, but I'll get to more ergonomic flaws later. The ventilation hubs, very well integrated into this dash, which has like this leatherish type material on it. High level, quality. The seams fit perfectly. There's not one stitching that's off. It's beautiful. This steering wheel, the grips at 10 and 2 are the most perfect size and softness to hold on to when you're driving. You're going to be driving with your 2 hands on the steering wheel, not because you want to, but because your hands are so comfortable there. Steering effort, I find, is dosed to perfection when I'm turning. It's wonderful. Here, this steering wheel may have a big bulge in the middle, and the buttons are here on the side, and when you're turning the wheel, you have a tendency to touch the buttons, which is distracting. I don't like that ergonomic error, it seems to me. Also, speaking of ergonomic errors, yes, this dial is better than the Lexus and Acura trackpads, but that's about it. Before I was fumbling in the menus, I activated something in the navigation that it started talking. I couldn't get it to turn off. Thank God there was a touch screen here which allowed me to do that. So, I mean, I made the remark to Ross in the French video, you know, when the iPhone came out, Steve Jobs was making the remark that everyone had their way of interfacing with a smartphone because it had increased functionalities, and therefore they were thinking of ways to make the interface simpler. And Steve Jobs simply took out his finger and said, well, we'll use the finger. And I think there's something to be learned about Tesla's approach, where you have a big screen and there's a lot of functionality. However, it's intuitive. We're used to using an icon-based touch screen interface, and I think if you're going to be complex and if it's going to get crazy, you should really have a screen close to you and a very similar to a phone interface. And I just think it's just a future, right? And I think all these manufacturers would save us a lot of trouble if they're going to pack in a lot of functionality. They should make it easier for us. That side note said, there are dials here for the temperature control. There are I think the physical buttons will always have their place for the most redundant tasks. Here, a little bit creative here for the volume here, using these rollers here on the side. Very good on this level. This dash here, super simple. I love it. I love it. Let's take a look now at the visibility. This visibility, very good all around. Panoramic roof lets in a lot of natural light. Driving it on the highway, super quiet. I love a nice, quiet, luxurious interior, especially with these mid-size SUVs. You're going to have people in the back. You're going to want to hear them. You're going to want to talk to them without screaming. This is a marvelous, luxurious cocoon I like. You do get Genesis 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty. You do get their high-level maintenance program, which is to say anytime you have anything to do in the car, they bring somebody over to your house, they leave a car there, they take your car for the day, and they bring it back for the first 5 years for regular maintenance. That is free of charge, or included, I should rather say. Nothing is free. You do get, I think, what appears to be an above-average reliability, at least when compared to the Germans in terms of the long term. So I think it's highly recommendable in terms of like the purchase, and I think the lease. So I do think this vehicle is highly recommendable on the purchase and on the lease, which you can't say for many of its rivals. And I think if you're not brand obsessed, this is a must test drive. And from a personal note, I know when I will be buying my next car, I don't know what I'm going to buy. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a sedan. I don't know what Genesis will have in the future when I'm ready to buy a car, but I know it will be a must test drive because every vehicle I try of them, it's always a high quality product. I'm always happy sitting here driving it, and ultimately that's what counts. And those are my thoughts. By the way, if you like this video, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. And if you really like it, well then of course you should subscribe, and that is it.